So this is Harvey White now for Tottenham. So it's hit forward by Josh Keeley, and Spurs have it down the right-hand side. Here's Sarr now for Tottenham, who signed a couple of summers ago now for the club. Was sent back out on loan to where he came from, but he's with the academy now. Craig finds Leon's Foster. Number 5 again now for Tottenham. Craig in the centre. Here's Alfie Devine now. Spurs change their system and look to go long this time. Here's Alonso down the left-hand side. So let's put some early pressure on West Ham United. Alfie Devine. Now Sarr. That's a simple ball down the right-hand side as it's with Callum Casey. First touch now for Jamie Donnelly down the right-hand side. Sarr again for Tottenham. Ashby tried to win it back there for West Ham United, who have struggled really to get too much of a touch at the moment. Spurs back on it now with Harvey White. This is Fagan Walcott. Craig now down the left-hand side for Tottenham. And a little spin away from trouble there from the Spurs number 8. And an early chance perhaps for Spurs to get the ball into the West Ham United penalty area. The good thing up to this point for West Ham, although they've struggled to get any control of the ball, they haven't really had any pressure on their goal. That might change.
Yeah, they've obviously, first, 4 minutes, Tottenham dominating possession, but not really going anywhere. But like I say, first chance now to put someone in our box and ask us to defend.
So it's Alfie Devine standing over it. It's drilled in, really. Might have been a touch on there. It breaks at the back post now, and Spurs could be in. A couple of deflections helped West Ham United. They look to get themselves up the field quickly to put the pressure on Tottenham. It's calmly dealt with there by Josh Keeley. They'll have a second go at it. Once more, it's not the easiest job for the Spurs number 1. It was a similar situation to where West Ham stole it off the Wolves defence on Monday night. Weren't quite able to do so there. Here's Sarr. As he tries to switch it out to that left-hand side for Spurs. But Ashby was there first before Mundell could get there for Tottenham. Swire couldn't quite break away, but there was a pull on the number 10. And West Ham United get themselves a free kick on the halfway line. So perhaps a tug of the shirt. Maybe a slight one there from Craig. So the referee, Paul Johnson, happy to give West Ham United the free kick. Perhaps a chance to settle themselves down on the ball. So this is Casey. Needed quite a few attempts to try and get it down the field. In the end, couldn't keep it in play for West Ham United.
Yeah, we started a little bit sloppy, a little bit slow, and it's always a danger when you don't have possession of the ball early on. You just needed to try and maintain it, try and get a feel and play yourself into the game.
Good thing for West Ham United, they didn't start particularly well against Wolves on Monday night. They did score the opening goal against the run of play. That's what they'll hope to do if they can go into it here. At the moment, Spurs coming out with the ball. And here's Harvey White looking to drive forward. So he'll go for it from range, and it was a comfortable save for Haji. And he'll hope for shots like that at his goal all night long, really. Here's Greenwich for West Ham United. Haji went long. There might have been a touch there from the number 5, which almost set a chance in behind for Earthy. This is Craig now for Spurs.
Yeah, good to see George breaking the lines of of Divine, running in behind, beyond the strike. I think it's really important that we do that tonight.
And you can see, even despite the possession that Spurs have had early on, how quick West Ham can break. Fagan Walcott finds his defensive partner, Leon's Foster. Sarr now. Given away cheaply there from Spurs, and let's see if West Ham can try and break. Swire finds Greenidge. Ashby now down the right-hand side for the hosts. Yang returns it to the goalkeeper. And along it goes, and all of a sudden, if Mbama can get there first, there could have been more danger for Spurs, who are able to deal with it. As this is Fagan Walcott for the visitors. Sarr, pressure on him from Apia Forson. Couldn't quite win the ball back though for West Ham United. As Spurs look to move it down the right-hand side now with Donnelly. Craig now joining in from defence. Mundell's going to go for it from range in terms of a ball into the West Ham penalty area. He'll be disappointed, and so too there with the Spurs attacker with the foul. Ashby down the right-hand side for West Ham United. There's a run-on down the line. Can Swire get there first for West Ham United? He won't be happy in either case because he didn't get there, and the throw's gone against his side. But you can see West Ham United are using this opportunity to try and get bodies up the field, despite Spurs having the throw. It's an important header by Freddie Potts, although West Ham United can't keep it. Here's Harvey White. Leon's Foster now for Spurs. Casey. Josh Keeley goes long. Craig did well to head it on. Did he keep it in play? No, says the linesman on this near side, and West Ham United get themselves a throw.
Thank you, Harrison. Yes, please. Come on,
it's Alonso who's currently stopping that option backwards for Ashby from the throw. So he's going to need some options like this from Mbama. There's 4 players around him in the centre. Just about managed to find a pass, and West Ham United can keep going with the ball with Greenidge. It's coolly done by Casey to return it to the number 5. Casey wins the header for Spurs importantly, but he can't keep it. Here's Ollie Scarles now for West Ham United. The first real involvement for the number 11. He was heavily involved in West Ham United's Conference League game against FC SB. That was just over a week ago. The number 11 starting. And that must be pleasing for you as academy manager now, seeing so many academy players involved, particularly in Europe as well with the first team for West Ham.
Yeah, obviously that's what that's what we're in academy football for, and producing players. But just to see them, for us, it's you want to try and create a pathway, but then they need an opportunity. Unfortunately enough, we've got a manager that gave them that, and I think anyone that watched the game would definitely know that they took their opportunity. So that's all you can ask of the players.
It's these West Ham United players who at the moment are looking for a pathway towards the Spurs goal. It's a good play in the centre to find Freddie Potts. Turns it towards Apia Forson. We saw pretty much how heavily sprayed these pitches were, and that's why it just slid away from the West Ham number 8 there, and Spurs back on it now with Mundle. Here's Harvey White. Number 8 on and again to play it back, this time towards Leon Foster. As all of a sudden West Ham United hit deep, and Harvey White tries to come away for Spurs. And there were too many bodies in cloud and blue to win the ball back for West Ham United, who have it down the left-hand side now. Here's Mubama. So West Ham United still struggling to get out in these early stages. This is Alonso now down the right-hand side for Spurs. Here's Sarr. Casey now coming in an advanced position for a fullback. Craig finds Harvey White. Craig wants more for Tottenham. So when the ball reached the penalty area, West Ham did well to get it away, but they are struggling second time round. Here's Sarr now for Tottenham, right in the centre of the field. Spurs trying to make something of all the possession that they've had. Harvey White, now Mundle down the left-hand side for Tottenham. It's moved over to that right-hand side again with Casey now for Spurs. The good thing from Keeley keeping the ball there for so long for Spurs is that West Ham United did briefly get bodies forward, didn't quite put the pressure on the goalkeeper. They might have a second chance here.
Yeah, I think when you know when the opposition do have the ball for so long, they're dictating the pace of the game. I'm sure Robbo and Potts will look. That would be something that they won't want to happen. They'll want to dictate it, especially being at home. But unfortunately, you can't do that without the ball.
Spurs, let's see if they can do something with the ball here. West Ham United get it cleared. Only as far as Mundo, who's perhaps had a shooting position on the edge of the penalty area. Lays it off for Sarr instead. And here is the number 6 for Tottenham. Spurs still can't quite find that gap from West Ham United. Yeah, the good thing is that they have been able to keep it tight defensively so far. With now 15 minutes gone at the Rush Green Stadium. Here's Alfie Devine for Tottenham. He tries to dummy it onto his stronger right foot. Here's Craig. There's briefly a lot of space for Mundle down the left-hand side where he still has it. Taking on Ashby of West Ham United. His ball went deep and a bit too deep. And West Ham United will get themselves a goal kick.
Yeah, just noticing Harrison holding it looks like his groin for the last sort of 2-3 minutes. He's obviously gone down now. It doesn't look too good, so might have to be forced into making a change into that wing-back position.
We saw on Monday night, he's a player that loves rushing up and down the wing. And with so many games that were played in firstly October and going into these early stages of November, it's taken its toll, specifically on the number 2 now for West Ham United. And perhaps a chance for Mark Robson, just have a word with his team.
Yeah, it might be a good time to just have a little break, just have a, like you say, just come in, regroup again. But they do, I think it's obvious they need to get hold of the ball better. They need to go and maybe get up, press up a little bit higher, everyone move up 5-10 yards up the pitch and maybe put a little bit more pressure on Spurs. But at the moment they're not hurting us, so it won't be a massive concern.
I guess the only concern for Mark Robson now is that his number 2 should be okay, but at the moment, as you can see there, he's not going to be okay. And West Ham United, who went unchanged going into this one, will have to make an early change now. And how much do you think, I mean, I don't know, at this level, at this stage of someone's career so early on, even though, of course, we're hoping it's nothing too serious for Ashby, he's having to come off, but he is comfortably walking off. At this kind of age, does it make it a little bit more concerning when there is an injury, or is it kind of the same as what it would be at the top level?
No, yeah, of course it is, but like you say, you're looking at him walking off, it looks like he's just feeling it, and probably hasn't done excess damage to it if he could have done if he'd stayed on. So maybe looking after it, being sensible. But yeah, it's still a concern because obviously now it's the last. Well, I know we've got the European game next week, but last league game before a break, and you'd like to be fit in the break. You don't want to be coming in having treatment and using it. But again, maybe it's a time that he'll use to get fit now.
So here comes that West Ham United change. It's Forbes who comes on to replace him.
Yeah, he'll just slip in at left centre half. They've all moved over one, and Will will come out onto this right hand side.
He seemed to be left in a lot of space as the goal kick was getting taken. The ball went the other way though, as West Ham United have a throw now with Ollie Scarles standing over it. Not quite the first touch for Forbes, considering he's taking the throw as he finds Earthy, but now he gets it. Might have just put Liang under a little bit of pressure. Alonso chasing down, so too is Harvey White. West Ham United trying to break out, and it's good work from Apia Forson. Wasn't too much space for the number 8. And West Ham United might just get going now with the throw down the left-hand side. Wins the header on towards Swire. Had 3 men around him. It was always going to be difficult for the number 10 to come out on the ball. This is Craig now for Spurs. Back it goes towards Fagan Walcott. He'll play it square on towards Leon's Foster. And don't forget, we will be asking Kenny questions as the game goes on. You can put those questions in the live chat if you're watching on YouTube. As this is Sarr now for Spurs. We do have one of those questions for you, Kenny. We have a centre-back on the ball at the moment. Is there any attributes that are specifically important for a young centre-back?
Well, I think it's definitely changed a bit. As you notice in the Premier League, very much they need to be comfortable with the ball now. There's still a slight necessity to have obviously the physicality and height-wise, but it's not as important as it has been in the past. Obviously, a lot of offensive play now starts from the goalkeeper. So again, being good in possession, having that technical ability, but also then on the flip of that, you still need to be able to sense danger and and don't forget your defensive responsibilities.
Those West Ham United defenders making sure to remember that at the moment as Spurs are within their half. This is Casey with a little bit of room initially down the right-hand side. There's a deflect off of Freddie Potts. Up here, Forson breaks out with it. Here's Forbes. Ollie Scarles was forced to clear it swiftly down the line. He couldn't quite keep it in play. Spurs have a thrown out down the right-hand side. Might be a little bit of trouble. The Spurs run themselves into trouble. This is Mubama for West Ham United. As he pulled down, yes, says the referee. Fagan Walcott, who was caught on the ball. And he wanted to stop a West Ham break as quickly as he could, which is why they've got themselves a free kick, which Freddie Potts will take for West Ham United. Here's a Pia Forsen. Liang now for West Ham United. Here's Hadji. First chance to see what Greenish can do from an offensive point of view at wing-back for West Ham United. So he might get a second chance on the ball here. He's battling with Craig, who was strongly Spurs number 3. Mundell tried to find Harvey White just ahead of him. Josh Keeley now for Spurs. Once again, just want to dictate things in these early stages, coming towards the quarter of the game. As this is Leon's Foster. Fagan Walcott, who despite losing possession in that kind of position just a moment ago, is still comfortable with the ball. Mundell now for Spurs. A couple of West Ham players around him as he's forced back. And all the way back towards Fagan Walcott again. Harvey White now drops deep for Tottenham. This is Leon Foster now for Spurs. Craigs was initially free down that left-hand side. That's why he was staying close to him in the end. Here's Fagan Walcott once more for Tottenham, who's had more of the ball than anyone, really. Which I guess is anything, if anything, is a good sign for West Ham United, if it is the Tottenham centre-back on the ball most. Casey tried the first time ball down the line, didn't quite pay off. United as they tried to break away. Here's Devine. Now Dunley down the left-hand side for Spurs. The throw goes the way of West Ham United. Could have gone either way, really, that. Which was why there were a few complaints from Tottenham players, which the referee, Paul Johnson, will deal with as he has a word with Alfie Devine. He's one of the only players on the field this evening to have scored a senior goal. It was in a FA Cup game against Marine in 2021. Here's Casey. There's a lot of pressure on the number 3, so he's forced to hit it long. He's twisting, turning, and then slipping. And West Ham United back on it now. Earthy finds a Pia Forsen, trying to drive through the gears. It's coolly done by Potts. He leaves Liang with a little bit of running back to do. Greenwich, a little bit of room. Did have a runner ahead of him. He did try and find that pass in the end, West Ham United.
Good lad. Good lad.
Here's Sarr now for Tottenham. As this is Leon Foster. Sarr once more for Spurs. Casey's going to look to go down the line here towards Alonso, who is Tottenham's top goal scorer this season in the Premier League too. He won't cause West Ham too much danger though if he's in that kind of position, as it's with Casey again for Tottenham. Earthy, a Pia Forsen now for West Ham United. Their only option at the moment is to move it back. Craig gets there first for Spurs. West Ham United get a throw down the right-hand side.
Yeah, just said where he is. Will, just said where he is.
So Greenwich, before he takes it, is just asked to move a few steps back from the referee.
Let's go.
Thought about going long initially. There was some delayed appeals on the handball there from Apia Forsen. Here's Liang. Now it's with Forbes. He took it down well, but then ran into trouble. Casey for Tottenham. Cray's got a little bit of room on this near side for Tottenham. Spurs go the other way. Casey. Saar. Craig is trying to make a move down this left-hand side. Foster now for Tottenham. Casey once more down the right-hand side. They can't get it out the back four at the moment, Tottenham. Who are only ahead of West Ham United by just the sole point after the Hammers beat Wolves 3-1 on Monday night. It's a great opportunity for West Ham United to move up a place in the table just before the break for the World Cup in the Premier League 2. And get themselves in a good position for when these sides meet again in just a couple of game weeks' time. But of course, with the World Cup, that does mean a couple of months' time. Here's Casey. Keeley now for Spurs. So there's a little bit of pressure on him. He dealt with it coolly, the Spurs #1, and this is Saar. Craig down the left-hand side for Tottenham. The inverted fullback, so we can see as he dribbles in with his right foot. Alfie Devine now for Tottenham. So he finds Fagan Walcott. Craig. Saar, off to the right-hand side it goes now with Casey. Spurs patiently building forward. Donnelly trying to twist and turn away from 3 West Ham United players. West Ham do get it clear. Saar's happy to take the throw quickly. Foster returns it to the Tottenham #6. And he'll go long towards Mundle. His first touch wasn't the best, but his second did well to take it away from Greenidge. In the end, it was too much of a heavy touch, which allowed the chance for the challenge. Spurs have the throw now down the left-hand side. West Ham United might have a chance to break away. In the end, it was the attacker Alonso who came back for Spurs. Here's Alfie Devine. Played it direct towards Donnelly, not accurately. Scars now breaks away for West Ham United. Earthy, good touch away from trouble. Scars now, this could be promising for West Ham United. In the end, it was just a slight letdown with the ball in. Saar, sloppy. As West Ham United look to break forward down this right-hand side. Can they get a first shot away? It was an important block, but it still breaks now for Earthy. And the deflection takes it behind for the first corner of the evening.
I think as well as Tottenham have been in possession, as in being very patient, I think we have been as well defensively. You know, we haven't gone chasing, they've filled holes and they've been very in that sort of mid-block, so they've done well. And again, with a team who have lots of possession, they will turn the ball over at some point. And it gave us an opportunity there, so maybe we can get something out of this set piece.
It does give a chance for those West Ham defenders to get up the field into the penalty area. The likes of Casey, Greenidge and Liang. As the corner goes in close to the goalkeeper. And it looked for a moment like it did go all the way in. The referee does blow for a foul. West Ham United using this opportunity from the Spurs free kick just to get bodies up again. It looks like they don't want Spurs to play it out from the back, and they're not going to have the chance to. That's an important header won by the substitute Forbes. Sarr trying to break away for Spurs. His pass took a deflection, still finds Mundell, who was then brought down in the centre. Harvey White for Tottenham, who's had first team appearances not only for Spurs, but was out on loan at Portsmouth last season for the second half of it. Sarr. Now Craig down the left-hand side. Greenwich swift to put on the pressure and force him back again. That's good work there from Walcott. Here's Donnelly, he moves over to the left-hand side for Spurs now. Craig further out wide. As he looks to send the ball into the back post. It was past everyone, but West Ham United give it away. And they might just get away with a potential Spurs goal, as the strike was over the bar in the end. After all the Spurs possession, really it was West Ham United who gifted them the chance. Hedgie, who will kick long for West Ham United. And in the end went over the head of both West Ham United players fighting for it. So we played a little bit over half an hour now here at the Rush Green Stadium. Still West Ham United 0, Spurs 0. Keeley. Craig comes deep for Tottenham. Sarr's got a little bit of room to try and break forward. Donnelly's making the early run over the top, but he was never going to have a chance to get on the end of that. Here's Forbes for West Ham United. Earthy. He was pushed over, so it seemed, and the referee gives the free kick to West Ham United. On the far side. Be left here for Forbes to take, and he's going to go long for West Ham United. Greenwich on the opposite flank is free. Just couldn't quite get his touch right, the number 5. And it was a strong challenge in there from Freddie Potts, who was booked early in the game against Wolves on Monday. He's got another yellow card here.
Yeah, as soon as you go into ground and if you don't take that ball, you always you give the referee no real option other than to book you.
So West Ham United decides to go long from a couple of free kicks. Spurs happy to play it back and keep possession. West Ham have limited them just to the one shot on goal, which was off target. Let's come forward again now, Spurs here with Craig. West Ham United give it back to Tottenham. This is Mundell. A couple of step-overs on the near side. Still with the Spurs number 11. Casey will take it down on the far side. This is Sarr. Spurs regroup now with Fogan and Walcott. And now Leon's Foster. Here's Mundell making the move in behind for Spurs. It's an important touch away from Casey. Now West Ham try to break down the right-hand side with Greenwich, and Craig, despite trying to run away from the referee, won't get away with Tottenham's first yellow card of the evening.
Yes, please, guys, back with me. Thank you. Where you are, please. Yeah.
It's Casey will take the free kick short for West Ham United. Potts. Here, Forson coolly let it run. Ollie Scars now on the far side for West Ham United. Here's Hedgie. So West Ham United go long again. Pierre Forson managed just to initially keep the ball on the far side, despite taking a tumble. In the end, it does go out for a Spurs throw. Here's Fogan Walcott. Coolly got away from Swire. Here's Mundle. He's been heavily involved in the last 5 minutes or so for Spurs down this left flank. Trying to get away from KC. Yeah, West Ham United do manage to get bodies back, because it's Sarr now for Tottenham. Here's Leons Foster. Craig now, a little bit of room down the left-hand side. So he looks to play it on towards Alonso. It's an option behind him in Fogan Walcott. Here's Harvey White. Mundle was making the early run. It was an important touch away, but it still led to the opportunity for Tottenham.
Yeah, it looked like a little half chance there. Couldn't quite see it. A couple of ricochets.
West Ham United to go early with Greenidge. And they look to break now with the number 5 again down this right-hand side. Could be a little room from Mbama. In the end, it was sloppy. It's given it away. It might have allowed an opportunity for Spurs to break, and they'll still look to break. Here is Alonso. Alfie Devine working hard to make the overlapping run down the right-hand side. It was really a simple one from the referee, just to wave it away. Greenidge. Appear Forster now in the centre for West Ham United. Freddie Potts moves it on towards Forbes. Potts again. Forbes goes for a different approach to try and switch it towards Greenidge. Important header one in there by Craig, and he found Mundle too in a little bit of room. And a chance to drive forward here for the Spurs number 11. Almost a bit too clever from Alonso as West Ham United back on it. Greenidge just room down the right-hand side as he looks to drill it forward towards Earthy. Just too far in front of the West Ham United number 7 in the end. Here's Leons Foster to Fogan Walcott. Turns it towards Leons Foster again. West Ham United sitting deep once more. As Craig has it down the left flank. Sarr in a deeper position from midfield. Devine tries to flick it around the corner. West Ham United back on it though. And back on it with Earthy. Again, it's a rush pass from West Ham United as they try to break.
Yeah, it keeps breaking down. Devine's got to tidy up there because we're never going to get our half otherwise.
This is Harvey White who's going to go for it from range. It was fairly central, just over the bar in the end. He had the room on the edge of the West Ham United penalty area. Run, and it might hit a fine Swire, trying to play it back across, and behind it goes for a corner to West Ham United.
Yeah, some good running there and a decent ball through, nice threaded ball through from Will, and gives us, like you say, another set piece and another opportunity.
It almost caught Keeley out the first corner from West Ham United. So it's Ollie Scarles who comes to this near side again. The likes of Casey, Liang, Greenidge, Forbes are all in the Spurs penalty area. So Ollie Scarles will look to find any of them, and anyone really in claret and blue, with the in-swinging ball. So it goes deep towards the back post and towards Casey. I think just leaped a little bit too early there, which is why it's ended up going behind him.
Yeah, I've seen Kalen do that many a time for the 18s this season, arriving at that far post, isolating him, and he's both scored and created chances from there.
He actually scored against Spurs in their Premier League Next Generation Cup game in the summer. That was back in July. In what was an 8-0 win for the West Ham United under-18s against Tottenham. They'll hope for something like that tonight.
It's got to go. They got to go some. I'll take 1-0 tonight, actually.
As it's Tottenham's Casey who will take this throw now. Here's Craig. Shadov Manon helped him as he looks to burst away now for Spurs. Mundell making the move down the left-hand side. Does well to keep it in play. Can get away from Casey though. He will help out on the offensive front now for West Ham United, overlapping with Greenidge. Potts managed to turn away from trouble. Forbes now for West Ham United. Scarles, chance to measure across for West Ham United. So it was too close in the end towards Josh Keeley, who did well to claim in goal for Spurs. That was one back by West Ham United. Here's Earthy. Lays it off towards a Pia Forson. Was he taken out? No, says the referee. As Spurs look for a late first half breakaway. This is Mundell taking on Casey. He's going to go from range. And it was a long range away from the top right-hand corner, which he was trying to find in the end. The fourth official that's on stoppage time. Looked like 3 minutes of it, I believe. Or was it just the one?
Yeah, you know what? I'm looking at that thinking I'm going to wait to see what you say because I'm the same. Is that 3 or 1 minute?
Perhaps the stoppage on Ashby early on for West Ham United would have added some time. This is Donnelly for Tottenham. Trying to play it early towards Casey. A couple of touches off of Scarles. And the last one off of Donnelly, and West Ham United get a throw. Freddie Potts. Any potential West Ham breakaway is cut out, and Sarr breaks away now for Spurs. Harvey White. This is Josh Keeley. Linz Foster. Now with Mundell, just about managed to avoid the challenge of Mabama. couldn't get away from Earthy as West Ham looked to break late on in the first half. Important clearance away there from Casey. And West Ham United have themselves a throw, which will be delayed thanks to Harvey White just throwing it away there for Tottenham. This is Forbes. So let's switch it down the right-hand side. That's too close to Mundle though for Tottenham. Forbes again down the left flank for West Ham United. Plays it back now. This is Liang. Hedgie. So in the end, there were two West Ham players who could have gone for that. None did. Spurs have it now with Sarr. He tries to find Donnelly down the right-hand side. It was well read by Forbes, who looked to launch away Earthy for a late West Ham United break. Greenwich is free on the far side. In the end, it breaks towards Swire, who went down. And this could be an interesting way to end the half for West Ham United. Did you ever take a free kick from this kind of range in your career?
No, you're joking. I was getting nowhere near it. As much as I wanted to, no, there was players well ahead of me.
There was a yellow card too that was shown there. So he tried to get out the way of it there, Harvey White. So it is to be either Skulls or Freddie Potts. It'll be the left foot of the number 11, or the right foot of the West Ham United number 4. Very late on in the first half. It is Skulls, it's over the wall, and it's absolutely sublime. West Ham United end the half in style. Ollie Skulls with it. 1-0 West Ham United.
What a magnificent finish.
There was absolutely no chance for Josh Keeley. No chance for the Spurs wall, as it found superbly that top corner. As Skulls scores his first goal in the Premier League too. And what a way to break his goal-scoring duck. You could say it's against the run of play in terms of the possession, but we haven't seen Spurs create too much.
No, you can see them really dejected at the moment. Their body language looks really low. Tottenham's, like you say, dominating possession but not really creating anything, and that will be a real sucker blow for them.
Might just make the half-time team talk a lot easier for Mark Robson, of course, your former teammate at West Ham United.
Yeah, he'll be really pleased with that going in.
And as things stand, West Ham United move above Spurs in the table. And move off the foot of it. That could change as Craig has space now down the left-hand side for Spurs, who look for that instant reply. Donnelly managed to take it down on the far side. It was good play there from Swire, and it was the last action of the first half, which lacked some entertainment at points, but it was anything but that really in terms of right at the end, with a sublime free kick from Ollie Skulls to change the scoring and make it West Ham United 1, Spurs 0 at the break.
Hey, it's Sunny J here at Rush Green for a battle of truly epic proportions. Of course, I'm talking about the Trustly Tough Hammer Challenge. Now, before we actually get started with all of that, make sure you tap the little button below that says subscribe. Also, there's a bell button there as well. If you tap that, you get West Ham daily content straight to you. And while you're there, give Trustly an Instagram follow on here right now. So here's how today is going to work. There's going to be 4 teams going head-to-head in an assault course challenge. Each team will consist of a player and a fan. Now, the team that actually make it across the assault course in the quickest amount of time will, of course, win and get this lovely shiny trophy. So let's meet the players and the fans that are going to be taking on the Trustly Tough Hammer Challenge today. First up, we've got Lisa Evans playing alongside Sean Cole.
Be that, be that.
Also taking on the challenge is Grace Fisk and Alfie Cole.
Smashed it. Let's go.
Taking those guys on will be Declan Rice and Sasha Cole.
Move on!
And last but not least, our final team taking on the Tough Hammer Assault course today, Michael Antonio and his teammate Francis Ellen Palmer. So we've now met the teams. Let's see what they've got to take on in the Trustly Tough Hammer Challenge. The first obstacle is the tech ball table. Each pair gets 3 attempts to make 3 successful passes to each other from across the table. If they don't manage to do it in 3 attempts, they move on to the next obstacle and a time penalty will be added to their overall time. Once the tech ball obstacle is done, the West Ham fan in each team will then make 5 successful hula hoops before the team can move on. The next challenge is head tennis. Each team has 3 attempts to make 3 passes over the net with their heads. If they're not successful after 3 goes, they move on to the next obstacle and a time penalty is added on to their overall time. And the final obstacle is the foot golf challenge. The fan of each team tees off, then taking it in turns, they must get the ball into the hole as quickly as possible. So let's get on with the challenge.
Let's go, come on, John.
So first up, taking on the Trustly Tough Hammer Challenge, we've got Lisa and Sean. 3, 2, 1, go.
We're in.
Okay, she's starting her.
Oh, on again.
Still got it
Let
going.
him go.
Oh,
That's a shame.
Last attempt.
Good with his knees.
That's attempt 3 done.
That's it.
Moving on.
Hula hooping, go, go, go.
Right, let's
Show
see
me
what he's
what you
done
got.
with this hula hoop.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yes, 5.
I think he underestimated how hard that was going to be.
That's quality.
3 headers. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that one's easy. Easy. Smash that
Right,
one.
Sean, you kick it off. Oh, I love it. First one.
He's probably got a bit of whiplash from the hula hoop, I reckon.
Do I need to wait till it stops, yeah?
They're speeding through it, to be fair.
Go on, you got this. Oh, that was close.
Oh, well done.
What's the time?
That was quick.
Smashed that.
That was rapid.
Be that, be that.
I think we absolutely smashed that. It'll be interesting to see tech ball. If they can smash the tech ball, they'll have a chance. But other than that, like the head in, foot golf, we smashed it, didn't we? Talk us through it.
We had a chance. We give it a go, and we're going to win it. Easy.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll let the challenge do the talking, and then we'll come back. Yeah.
Next up, taking on the Trustly Tough Hammer Challenge, we've got Grace and Alfie. 3, 2, 1, go.
Let's go. Come on, Alf. Grace is very competitive.
Is she?
Yeah.
Oh, you go.
Okay, second attempt.
Oh, that was rubbish.
Oh, third attempt.
Does that even count? Go on. Smashed it.
Let's go.
Move on, move on, move on.
Go. Hula, hula, hula. Go on, move the hips, move the hips, move the hips.
Right, here we
Get
go
it
with the
going,
hula
get it
hoop. He's
going.
going for the authentic. Oh, no.
That was 3. 2 more. Yeah,
One.
there you
No,
go.
boom.
That's 2.
No,
Cut it in
it
half.
should have gone round the
Oh,
neck.
go.
Sorry, 5, yeah?
Should have gone round
3
the
and a
neck.
2, it counts. Yeah, smashed it. Go on, Alf.
Moving straight on.
Oh, the speed's
Not
good.
wasting
The speed's
any
good.
time.
Oh, it's
Great
a good kick.
kick.
It's a good first kick.
Oh, Alf, that was smashing. Wait for it to stop.
Love it.
Look at that, in 2.
Let's go.
Well done, smashed it.
Well done, guys.
Woo!
Tech ball was phenomenal.
Yeah, you done well there.
Yeah, started a bit rough.
Good,
but
good
First dig as well for the golf.
Straight down the
perfect, yeah.
middle.
The pace on that.
It's a good drive, a good drive.
I left it to the putter to put it in the accurate spot.
Teamwork, teamwork.
Makes a dream work.
Taking on the Trustly Tough Hammer Challenge, we've got Declan and Sasha. If you're ready, 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, didn't make it.
Start again.
Yeah,
Second attempt.
imagine that.
Second attempt.
3, done,
Here
come.
we go. On to the next.
Pick hula hoop.
Oh, she's good at hula hoop. You watch this. That's Shakira.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, right, in it, other side.
See, this is where I think they're going to struggle.
Right, headers, come here. Onto your head. Oh, and again. 1, 2, and again. Oh, get the ball. No. Ah, quickly. Move on.
They're moving up.
Get the ball. Ah, my turn.
Set her up there.
Right, just kick it up on there and roll it in. Oh no!
Lovely. Well done.
That was so quick. That was rapid. That was actually decent. Oh, it's a quick score that. That could be the quickest.
How do you think you did?
Pretty decent.
I was disappointed with the start. I should have got it back.
Yeah.
Could have actually put 5 seconds on.
His fault.
Yeah.
Sasha, you think Deck let the team down at the beginning there?
He's to blame.
I think we got a good score. I think we'll be all right.
I think you did well, to be fair. Obviously, Deck messed it up at the beginning. He could have knocked our thing in. So I feel because of Deck, we probably beat you.
Okay, fine. Game on.
Let's wait and see. Wait and see.
Taking on the Trustly Tough Hammer Challenge is Mikkel and Francis. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Go! Around your arm. Do it on your arm.
Which one?
Any arm.
2, 3, 4,
Let's
5.
go.
Stuart's inquiry.
Let's go. You're outside. Ready? I'm gonna head it to you. Head it back.
There they go.
Oh!
Look at that.
That's it.
You kick it.
Here we go.
I'm not built for running. Neither you by the looks of it. Beautiful.
That's a good score, that.
Yeah.
That's a good score.
We're celebrating already, people. We're celebrating already.
You can't go round the arm on the hula hoop.
That's for these champions. Look, they didn't stipulate the rules, mate. They said hula hoop 5 times. No, you got to know the rules. Basically, you've got to know who you are.
Ah.
Yeah? You got to know who you are. Like, I know who I am. I ain't Ronaldinho. I'm Antonio. Yeah?
I mean, after that, you probably bets on you winning, right?
We definitely won. Clean sweep all the way through.
Brian, confident?
He's filling me with confidence, actually. I wasn't.
Okay. So the results of the Trustly Tough Hammer Challenge are in. In 4th place with a time of 1 minute 6 seconds, but with a 5-second penalty, is Lisa and Sean. In 3rd place with a time of 59.3 seconds, but with a time penalty of 5 seconds, is Declan and Sasha. Runners-up in the Trustly Tough Hammer Challenge with a time of 49.41 seconds and with a 5-second time penalty is Grace and Alfie. Which leaves us with our champions. With an amazing time of 47.28 seconds and a 5-second time penalty is, of course, Mikkel and Francis. And the winners of the Trustly Tough Hammer Challenge, by 2 seconds, by the way. 2 seconds. We've got Fran and Mikkel, everyone! Come on! Do a bit louder than that. Guys, I mean, you were very confident coming into this. I mean, what was it you think about your teamwork that got you the win today?
It's the chemistry.
Yeah.
You know, like we were talking beforehand and we were speaking all the way through it, you know. We've seen other people's groups, they didn't speak each other until they started going to work, so they had no chemistry.
Okay.
You know, that's how I put it down to.
All about the chemistry, and I know that you had a tactic to go with the hula hoop around the arm. You're obviously quite happy that you went with
Yeah,
that.
definitely.
Yeah.
It wasn't my idea of teamwork again, but I felt slightly bullied into it, but I'm glad I was.
You felt slightly bullied into it, but it worked. It got you the win. Does it? How do you feel about that, Mickey?
I feel like the teamwork's ended now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Good thing we've won. Good thing we've won. We're going to lift the trophy, but I feel like there's definitely a separation happening.
Okay. Fine.
Yeah.
Already. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you your medals, well-deserved medals.
Thank
there.
you.
And it's only, you know, right that you get to do the trophy lift. So, guys, please.
There you go.
You've got to do it together. It's all about the teamwork, remember? There we go. So that's the end of the Trustly Tough Hammer Challenge. Thank you to all the players and the fans that of course took part, and to you watching as well. And thank you to Trustly for putting on this epic showdown. Now don't forget to drop this video a like and let us know in the comments as well how you would have done on the assault course. And of course, make sure you click the subscribe button for daily West Ham content. Also, make sure you follow Trustly on their Instagram page below.
Welcome back to the Rush Green Stadium. I'm your commentator Tyler Morris, and alongside me is Kenny Brown. As we have a whole batch of questions to ask him in this second half. And don't forget, you can leave your questions to Kenny in the comments of the YouTube live stream, and we will answer them as soon as we see them, as the players are out and getting set for the second half. Second half, which should hopefully bring some more goals, but we'd appreciate some of the same style that was scored at the end of the first half from Ollie Scarles. As West Ham United have an important lead to protect, perhaps build on, as they look to come off bottom spot.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the dynamics of the game now. Obviously Tottenham have dominated position anyway, but haven't really hurt, so then maybe they may well take a few more risks, get themselves back into the game, which could open up for us to counter-attack, which we do so well.
And one of those risks perhaps is to make an early second half change. Just seen Niall John coming on. I think it's Sarr who he has replaced. So West Ham United set to get us underway for second half action. As here is the man who was brought on early on in the first half themselves with Forbes. The goal scorer Scarles will send it long early. And I think we'll be happy to see that out for a West Ham United throw down this left-hand side. Scholes finds Potts, returns it to the West Ham United number 11. Just a different run there from Mbama as Spurs back on it. Donnelly seems to be working on this far side, with Mundell moving over to the near side for the second half of Spurs. This is Alfie Devine. Casey now down the right-hand side. It's a powerful drive into the penalty area. And Niall John was coming in, almost to the instant impact. But already that was just a little bit quicker from Spurs breaking forward at West Ham United. Alfie Devine leading the break. Just too high for Niall John in the end, who was stretching to try and get there for Spurs. Bama's going to try and win that for West Ham United. There's a flying run down this near side of Ollie Scholes. The goal scorer tries to play it in early.
What a fantastic ball. We're right behind that. Great way to pass from Ollie.
And the referee initially pointed for a goal kick. I think he's given the offside now, which is a shame because it takes a little bit of credit away from what was such a superb ball, as you say.
Yeah, what an intelligent, clever ball that was.
I think the referee might be happy that the linesman flag went up, because it would have been a clear corner otherwise. Mundell, was he brought down by Forbes? Yes, says the referee. Spurs get themselves a free kick.
Back away. Do you want somebody in 11? That's pretty stupid to do, isn't it?
And Potts just has to be a little bit careful kicking the ball away there after being
Yeah,
booked in the first half.
so. That would have been a really cheap sending off.
Donnelly was happy to see that out for Spurs for a throw down the left-hand side. This is Fagan Walcott. Now Leon Foster returns it to the Spurs defender. They have it now down the left-hand side. And this is Harvey White. Leon Foster again for Tottenham. There's a runner in behind down that left-hand side. They could be in down that left flank. In the end, just too much on it. And Niall John couldn't get there.
Yeah, that slick surface, fortunately enough, just skipped the ball on, so it was always going to be running out of play.
Spurs high up on the West Ham defence, but they're happy to play it out here to Scholes. Earthy moves out to the left-hand side now. Just couldn't quite find Mbama. Of course, is on great goal-scoring form after his brace on Monday night. Fagan Walcott plays it down the left-hand side for Craig. Fagan Walcott once more for Tottenham. Craig enjoyed driving forward for Tottenham throughout the whole of the first half. Harvey White finds Niall John. Spurs gradually getting further and further up the field. Mundell. Casey now. Harvey White for Tottenham. It looked like his only option was behind him. Just about found that in the end. Fagan Walcott. Donnelly almost got onto the end of the ball. Craig did well to win it back for Spurs, who might think about breaking now. As the number 3 goes on, this is Donnelly. This is promising, and it was an important block in there. Might have been a painful one too for Casey, but he seems like he's okay. Fagan Walcott for Tottenham. Off to the left-hand side it goes again. It's Craig. And it's towards the back post. There's no player in a lily white shirt there though for Spurs. Again, it gives me a chance to ask you a question. Is there any aspects of working in the academy that you enjoy most?
I love my role, you know, and obviously I love the club I'm involved with now, and but no, I think, you know, watching I've been fortunate enough in my head of coaching mould that I've watched under nines coming in and seeing them come in with just so much joy and bouncing into the training ground. But I think the biggest thing is watching them develop, both not just as obviously young footballers, but as young men, and really sort of seeing their personalities and their characters come through, and dealing with parents, because they have to go through a lot and there's a big commitment that they have to undertake, and I like that part of the role. I think the relationship building is massive in academies. We have a responsibility for that, and I enjoy doing it, and I find it very rewarding.
And do you think, this is another question coming in, that there's a difference, have you experienced perhaps a difference between coaching academy players and senior players?
Yeah, there's a big difference, obviously in the way that you coach them. There's a lot of trial and error. There's a lot of guided discovery with the youngsters, where more senior players there's a big focus on command style, and they're obviously, and of course you can't get away from the fact that senior football is the only thing that matters is really the result, where everything underneath is all about development. So there's a big swing in that, and it's something that everyone's trying to get right. When does that part of development, sort of not stop, but when does the focus on winning a game of football take place? And I don't think anyone's got it quite right yet, but we're working on it. But that's definitely a big challenge.
Spurs looking to press up high at this West Ham defence, and it's worked. Can they get a chance out of it as Mundell went down? And it was inside the penalty area, says the referee, as he points to the spot. It was West Ham United who won a penalty on Monday night. They've conceded one this evening. Looked like the contact was just inside the penalty area. It's not the kind of position of the penalty area that you'll want to make a foul. Mundell wasn't quite making that much progress running backwards. And it's Jamie Donnelly who will step up from the spot in search for his first Premier League 2 goal of the season. So Donnelly against Hedgie. And it's Hedgie who dives down to save for West Ham United. And what a big moment that could be for the side in Claret and Blue, as Jamie Donnelly is denied. It wasn't too far away from that bottom corner, which makes it so much better of a save from the West Ham United #1. But they will have more defending to do here from the corner, and they are able to do it successfully. And sometimes moments like that in the game can just turn the heat up a little. Kelly was forced to kick it long early, and he's done superbly to find Alfie Devine. Here's Harvey White now for Spurs. And Niall John's going to hit it from range, as it sailed over the bar, and over the ground too.
Yeah, what a brilliant penalty save, but God, Michael's got away with that one. Again, gave away really cheap possession deep, and then a really rash challenge where he's trying to make up for it, a little bit too keen to go and try and win the ball that he's given away. But he's got away with it. Let's hope it doesn't affect him now going for the rest of the half.
I wonder how that will affect the confidence of Christian Hedgie in goal for West Ham United after making a save like that.
I'll be feeling 10 foot tall now.
Casey went in there from the header for West Ham United. So it's a strong challenge right in the centre.
Definitely come to life now, the game. A lot different from that first half. We've already seen a lot more action, and it's warming up into a great London derby.
Do you think that is something that players of either side think about too much at this level with it? I mean, it's always must be a big game, West Ham Spurs.
Yeah, I don't care what level you're at. If we know it when we're playing at under 9s level, you're playing Tottenham, and likewise. it's great to have competition. Kids love it, and obviously at this level it becomes a little bit more important. But you don't want to ever lose that.
I guess even more important considering how close these two sides are in the table. West Ham currently have leapfrogged Spurs. As Greenidge looks to drive forward, it was strong defending in there from Fogan Walcott. This is Harvey White. Leons Forster. Niall John once more just behind the halfway line. Good challenge in there from Freddie Potts, who has to be careful with every challenge he makes, being on a yellow card. This is Alonso, who's been quiet for Spurs. Harvey White now. Got away from Mubama. It's all outfield players deep within the West Ham United half. Casey. Here's Mundell. Leons Foster now for Spurs, returns it towards Mundell again. This is Craig now down the left-hand side for Spurs. Back it goes again. It's going to be a second chance here for the Spurs number 4, and it's Niall John on the edge of the penalty area. A little bit of room on this right-hand side for Casey. Here is the Spurs number 2 as he sends a ball in towards the back post. It was just too high in the end for, I believe it was Jamie Donnelly. As Devine breaks out with it. Alonso. Can he work an angle for something? No, because it was good defending in there from Potts. And a calm touch from Leons Foster. He'll keep on going for Tottenham. Craig. This is Harvey White now. Casey. Mundell now for Tottenham. Drifting inside. Harvey White now. Craig. A little bit of room down the left-hand side. Sends a ball in. Over everyone, but Niall John will get there on the far side. It looks like he was in an offside position. And West Ham United can breathe a little.
Yeah, again, really patient defending though. You know, they're not getting pulled all over the place. They're shifting as a unit and as a team. And, you know, again, then they're forcing Tottenham into having to force a play. And they're, you know, a poor delivery and you know, the pressure goes. So, yeah, it's good. I'm sure Robbo will happily see that and be happy with the defensive work that they're doing.
This time look like they want to get up the field now as they go long. Obama tried to flick it on. Casey then went in with a strong header. And out it goes for a West Ham United throw. Lang finds Forbes. Spurs putting the pressure on West Ham United. Forbes places over the top in search for Earthy. Skulls. Sloppy in the centre there from Freddie Potts. You could tell his frustration when he gave the ball away. So Earthy's going to look to put the pressure on Leons Foster here. And back it goes all the way towards Keeley. So we're approaching the hour mark. West Ham United a goal to the good. Niall John. This is Casey, a little bit of room down the right-hand side for Spurs. Mundell helping out. Casey continues the run off the ball, but back it goes towards Harvey White. Darnley couldn't quite get his touch right. Here's a Pierre Forson now for West Ham United. Casey's got the pressure on him. Pierre Forson goes long for West Ham United. Good touch from Greenidge. Swire. And there was good Good work initially from Potts to get his body in the way, but he couldn't keep possession. Casey wanted it in front of him there, and he showed his frustration. White now for Tottenham. So he looks to send one early over the top, and Spurs could be in. The flag is up, though, on the near side. A fine ball in from the Spurs, number 8. So we'll just keep a look at that run off the ball from Donnelly. Looked fairly tight there. The flag does go up. And you just wonder, with still over half an hour to go, can West Ham sustain this pressure that Spurs are putting on them?
Well, they did first half, but like you say, you really want to play up the other end for some period of time, just to relieve the pressure and, you know, get our back 4 or back 3 up in and around the halfway line.
Swire did superbly initially to try and get West Ham up the field. Here's Freddie Potts. So it was a pass, really, which ought to have gone over the top. Spurs look to break away now with Alonso. The only option is on this near side with Mundle. He's been marked as Alonso will go on himself. It was important last-ditch defending from West Ham United. This is Swire. There's a lack of options for the number 10. He'll look to take on Fogan Walcott himself.
Oh, he's done so well there, yeah, done really well.
West Ham United can get their heads up, which they have done. They've spotted skulls on this near side. It was well read, though, by Casey for Spurs. Fine dribbling, too, through the legs of Freddie Potts. Niall John. Once more, Spurs just can't find that attacking option. Alfie Devine. As he looks to play it towards Craig. First time ball in. And Earthy did well. And West Ham United look to break. It's just too far wide of Mbama. And Casey didn't want to let it run out of play as Spurs continue out with the ball. Craig. So it could be promising again for Tottenham here as it's cut back towards Donnelly. I think the last touch was off the Spurs number 7. I don't think it was a position where it really needed a touch. Maybe a first-time shot would have done. Might have just really deflected into his right foot as he was going with his stronger left. Spurs getting a little bit closer. Earthy. Casey did well for Tottenham. Harvey White looks to play it early in behind. It's a great ball towards Alfie Devine. Will he get there first as Spurs number 10? No, the flag goes up. And Kenny, another question that we've got coming in. Do you have any advice for young players trying to make it as professionals?
Be patient. You know, I think that whatever level you're at, you got to enjoy the game. You got to love playing the game. Always work hard. Always give your best. Whatever the result is, whatever the performance levels are. I think if you can carry on doing that, I think nowadays with everything that's, football's a small world and you'll never get lost. So no matter what level you're playing at, if you're performing to a decent level, then someone will notice you. So just keep doing it, but try and do it with a smile on your face. I think we always talk about when boys come in. I touched on it earlier about they come in at sort of 7, 8 years of age, and they really just love playing football. We want to keep that in boys for as long as possible. We want them to love the game because they come in. It should be enjoyable, and playing football with their mates. What's better than that? And so all I would say is perseverance. Just keep being positive, keep doing your best, and see how far it can take you.
To be honest, it's the exact advice that Spurs need at the moment, being a goal down. They've had a lot of the ball, haven't been able to do too much with it. They're trying to stay patient. So too are West Ham United in their defending, as Mundell looks to make the move over the top. Unlike the ball in behind before, he was onside, but couldn't keep it in play for Spurs. That's a cry for the Spurs defence to get up the field as West Ham prepare to take the throw. You can see Spurs a lot more urgent with taking the throw. So they've got 25 minutes to try and find an equalising goal. West Ham United have 25 minutes to either hold on or do what they did on Monday night and get a second. Well, in that case it was a third, but a 2-goal margin. Spurs coming forward here down the right-hand side with Mundell. Looks to go around the outside, delivers a dangerous looking ball. Greenidge did well to clear. Mbama's going to chase now for West Ham United. And does superbly, again, with no options to win a throw.
Yeah, he's always going to give you that. Divine never stops running, always going to chase lost causes, and that was one of them. And again, forces someone in, forces a defender into playing it out and gets us up the pitch.
We haven't seen this man, Greenidge, in too much of an offensive position in the second half at wing-back. See if that can change here. Pearforson did well to hang on to it and win aside the free kick. Here's Casey. Rama's going to give chase for West Ham United. Harvey White now for Spurs. Did well to spin away from Earthy. Mundell was making the early run. Scholes, though, was keeping up with him. In the battle of the number 11s. I guess you could say Mundell won it in the end, winning his side a throw. Harvey White's free for the time being, but Spurs play it towards Mundell. Here is Harvey White, where he wants it on his left foot to swing a ball into the penalty area, headed away by Casey. Mbama, who's done well at that hold-up kind of role in this second half so far to try and start a West Ham United break. Swire leading the break at the moment for the Hammers. He's got an option to the right-hand side. It's Greenidge. Just over the head of Mbama in the end. And it's starting to get a little bit more end-to-end, as it's Donnelly now for Spurs. Here's Alfie Devine now for Tottenham. Mundell making the move on this near side once more. This is Casey. Driving forward from the right-hand side. Mundell on the outside. And a fine block in there from Forbes. But it will cost this side a corner to Spurs. I'm surprised he was able to get up so quickly when it's so cold to have a ball hammered into you.
Yeah, I think that's left an imprint in his chest, that one.
As Harvey White is on this near side to take for Tottenham. It's going to be an in-swinging ball towards the centre of the penalty area. It wasn't the best clearance away. And Spurs will have take two from the corner, this time from the other side. As this time it's the man who's used to scoring the goals for Spurs. 4 goals in the Premier League 2 this season, Alonso. He's going to try and provide one here, taking the corner. Another in-swinging ball from Spurs to come. And it might break down this far side to Mundell. Being marshalled by Greenidge, managed to get a ball in. That was cleared away at the front post.
Yeah, 2 really important blocks there by Michael there. Really defending the box well.
They're going to have to do that again, West Ham United, as Spurs have this corner once more. It's a good ball in. Once more, it looked like it was going to reach a player at the far side. It will reach a West Ham player in Forbes, who clears long. Earthy will give chase on Casey. Niall John. Here's Alonso, deep the number 9 for Spurs. Returns it towards Niall John, goes from range, and a comfortable save for Hedgie in goal for West Ham United. He had the momentum driving forward there, Niall John, from the centre. Here's Mbama, who might be able to break away for West Ham United down the other end. He scored twice on Monday, and he tried to get one again there. It deflects out for what will be a throw for West Ham United, but that's a little bit more promising from the home side. Just twisting and turning away from Fagan Walcott. It was Leon Foster who was there in the end for Spurs. There's just under 20 minutes left to play at the Rush Green Stadium. Here's Swire. Greenidge now for West Ham United. And once more, West Ham United will be happy to see it out for a throw down the right-hand side. Greenidge ready to take. This time we'll go a little bit longer towards the penalty area, headed away by Craig. Alonso will help it further out for Spurs. Have to reach his clearance in the end. Devine. Harvey White goes early towards Jamie Donnelly. And here is Devine again. Mundle on the outside. This is the number 11 for Spurs. And it was always going to ask a little bit too much for Casey because Forbes was reading the run from the start. Spurs have a throw down this right-hand side. Harvey White goes central towards Devine, returns it to the number 8 again. Here's Alonso, who's been anywhere but his number 9 position in the last 5 minutes or so. Sent another ball in, that's deflected. Well, John tried to get there first. Casey does get there first. Here is Niall John once more for Spurs. Harvey White. It was great slide challenge in there from Earthy. Liang now for West Ham United sends an early ball forward. Here is Swire. Can he go the whole way himself down the right-hand side? He does! And it's just wide in the end. The best chance by far in this second half for West Ham United.
Yeah, brilliant ball from Levi. Drive out with the ball. Fantastic, then through ball, and then it was just down to the power and pace. It's just found his way past that far post.
Beat the goalkeeper, but as you say, beat the post too. Spurs back on the ball now with Leons Foster. Casey. Mundle now for Tottenham. Harvey White in the centre. Just a few moans from his Spurs teammates as it went backwards again. Casey now down the right-hand side. Mundle. There's a couple of West Ham players to try and get away from. Earthy's got that same problem now. It's Mundle does well to keep it in play. Can't keep the ball though for his side. And Spurs will come again. Harvey White. Craig now on this near side. So he finds Fogan Walcott. Devine with a first-time ball towards Harvey White. Casey joining in now down the right-hand side. He's got Mundle on that outside. Here is the Spurs number 11. It was an important clearance, but it still reaches Harvey White, and it was low, but it wasn't so hard in terms of power. And a comfortable save in the end, diving down for Christian Hedgie, who I think's been pretty content with every shot that he's faced. He's been happy to not only save but claim every Spurs attempt. Craig, Harvey White, a little bit of time to turn for the Spurs number 8. Alfie Devine now. Does have an option in Harvey White again in the centre, but he'll keep on drifting through the middle. This is Craig. A couple of step overs to try and find a room for a cross. In fact, it was Alonso. Donnelly sent it in early for Tottenham, headed away by Casey. Niall John for Harvey White. Pressure keeps on building on West Ham United, but so far they've remained strong. There's another ball in and another clearance away, and Spurs get a throw. Harvey White. Craig looked to play it low that time.
Again, defending the box really well. Filling holes, getting their bodies in place.
Harvey White's going to send another ball into the penalty area. Donnelly got there. Not sure which part of his body it came off of. It doesn't matter because Hedgie once again was able to save for West Ham United. But I think if there's anyone to cause danger to West Ham United, it's the deliveries of Harvey White, who has had a lot of first team experience for Spurs. Just like a lot of the West Ham United players in the Conference League for him last season. There were so many players from the academy at West Ham United and the under-21s this season. Here's Mundell. Looks to go on the outside of Skulls. He's beaten him and he sends another ball in. Once more, it just needed a touch. Alonso, who's continuing out on this left-hand side. Harvey White's going to have another turn at delivering. Casey gets it away. Further out by Apia Forson. Mundell again. Well, John is just behind him. Mundell goes on and now finds John. And the first time ball in is out by Casey. And the more Spurs commit, the more chance there is for something like this, a West Ham break, which in the end leads to nothing. And it will be a chance for some substitutions. Firstly for Spurs, it's Ajayi who comes on. He replaces Jamie Donnelly. And now a chance for the West Ham changes. It's Mbama who's coming off. Coming on there was Kadoa. So with just over 10 minutes to go, let's see how that affects proceedings. Craig looks to play it first time towards Alonso. Casey will be favourite for West Ham United. Might have come off that arm. Referee will be happy to continue. That is Alfie Devine. Here is the Spurs substitute, Ajayi. He's going to send a ball in. Looks like Donnelly actually still on for Spurs. This is Harvey White. And he's run into trouble. And Kadoa could lead a break now for West Ham United. How's this for a first involvement? Earthy down the left-hand side for West Ham United. Ollie Skulls. Freddie Potts now for West Ham. This is Forbes. Skulls right on the halfway line in front of us. Here Forson. This is a lot better from West Ham United.
Yeah, well played.
Greenidge. Can he get a ball into the Spurs penalty area? He's going to keep on going on himself for now. Swire. And Apia Forson, who's used to scoring so far this season. That shot was deflected. Swire comes deep again for West Ham.
Yeah, I think Cam's been excellent this second half.
Apia Forson couldn't quite keep it in the end for West Ham United. Here is Ajayi, the Spurs substitute. Devine. An option on the outside of him. And Liang was there first for West Ham United inside the penalty area. And you said to me at half-time you were happy if they were just going to get balls into the penalty area. Spurs. It's continued like that. West Ham United defenders always seem favourite.
Yeah, I haven't really been too concerned. I think Gideon's done excellent there. Brilliant.
Well, we saw a superb free kick in the first half, but I think that was the loudest cheer of the night after that superb work on the far side. And I think the referee has no option but to book the Spurs man. So we'll take a second look at it.
Yeah, tug of the shirt. Clever play.
So Malachi Fogan-Walcott in the referee's book. And this could be promising for West Ham United with just over 8 minutes left. This is about the time of the game where they took a 2-goal lead against Wolves on Monday. Can they repeat the same against Spurs this time? This is a ball that goes deep towards Casey, and it was important defending. And behind it goes for a corner to West Ham United. Again,
isolating Kalen at the back post. He's a real threat there. They've defended it well. Looks like he's just nicked his... maybe caught the back of someone's head.
Spurs should learn their lessons after the goals he scored against them at under-19 level in the summer. West Ham United were forced into a change in the first half. They'll hope they're not forced into another change here fairly late on in the second. West Ham United are getting closer from coming off the foot of the top division of the Premier League 2. And no really better opposition for them to overtake than their rival Spurs. Of course, still 7 big minutes to play. And of course, you've kept your questions coming in the live stream. And whether this was before you were a professional footballer or even today, who's your biggest inspirations in football?
I haven't got to look too far, and it's quite an easy one. Obviously, my family, you know, we've got a close family, but you know, my dad's always been there. You know, from an early age, I was sitting in boardrooms, sitting in dugouts, following him around, going into training grounds, spending hours on end. You know, and that was where probably my love of football always came from. And you know, I've been really fortunate that from going in, it was at Norwich on the old YTS scheme. It was the first year of the YTS scheme then that the government brought out, that going in at 16 and, you know, coming up to probably 40 years later, I'm still involved in football. So I count myself very fortunate. But yeah, without Dad's influence, always his backing, I was fortunate enough to play under him when he was manager at both Norwich and Plymouth. Loved my time at both clubs, and still today, really big inspirational man in my life. And you know, again, very proud that I've had the opportunity to follow in his footsteps in playing for such a great club at West Ham.
You of course had some great moments at West Ham too as a player. We'll get to that shortly as Earthy sends a ball in for West Ham United. Spurs were able to deal with it initially. It does break out for Forbes. He couldn't keep it, and now Spurs look to break with Niall John leading the attack. He launched it early, and Anger's going to get there first for West Ham United. A strong challenge in there. A fine one too by Greenidge.
Brilliant defending.
Here's Niall John. Craig. Alonso. Just looks like Jamie Donnelly is the striker now for Spurs. He started the evening on the right, moved to the left, now he's in the centre. He was the centre of it all when he stepped up to take the penalty. The attention was quickly turned onto the West Ham United goalkeeper Hedgie, who made the superb save. That's the biggest moment in the second half. Spurs looking to change that though, as it's a ball that goes in way too deep. For will be a West Ham United goal kick. There's a few substitutions just being planned on the far side. So West Ham look to see out this last 4 minutes. If you ever had a chance to use one of those things.
What, the electronic
Yeah.
scoreboard? I haven't. I'm not really. Hopefully, I don't ever have to either.
As West Ham United make the first of the changes, Cameron Swire coming off and Regan Clayton coming on. And the goal scorer, of course, Ollie Scarles is the second player to make way. He will hope that his goal continues to be the difference between the two sides.
Yeah, like for like, substitutions. They'll both fall straight into their respective positions.
So here comes that West Ham United goal kick. Casey's forced it long, but wide as it goes out for a Spurs throw down that left-hand side. Casey's just got a limp on this near side for Spurs. What's a shame for them is that he's the freest man, although they're going to try and play one over the top down the right-hand side. This could be dangerous. It's Ajayi trying to take on Forbes. He did superbly defensively. Harvey White takes it down for Tottenham. This is Casey. Seems to have just run off any potential knock there, the Spurs number 2, as they have it on the opposite side now. That could break for Ajayi at the back post, and here is Casey. And if he was playing rugby, then it might have been a good effort. In football terms, it sailed well way over the top of the crossbar.
See it waste a few more seconds flying over there, going into the groundsman's huts.
We are closing in on our last few minutes of Premier League 2 action till the new year. West Ham United, of course, still have one more game to go in the Premier League International Cup against Feyenoord. I'm sure all the focus is, though, on this last minute and stoppage time. It's good defending in there by Fagan Walcott. West Ham United back on it. Woods. Here's Forbes. Clayton finds Potts. Swire tried to drive forward. Gifted the ball to Spurs though. Devine did well to run away from Archie Woods. Craig. Only option was to go back. Here's Fagan Walcott. And all the way back for Keeley now for Tottenham. Here's Craig for Spurs. Alonso. Trip up on the halfway line. Spurs don't delay any free kick. Here's Casey. West Ham United sitting very deep now as they look to hold on to the 1-goal lead, which they scored very late in the first half. Spurs looking for a goal very late in the second. But at the moment, it's West Ham United who are coming away, and it's Swire who's driving forward. Away from Ajayi initially. And in the end, couldn't quite find a pass. But nor could Spurs. And West Ham United back on it down the left-hand side. Regan Clayton. It's a low and hard ball in. Just too close to Josh Keeley in the end for Spurs. So we're into 5 added minutes. 5 nervy minutes if you're a West Ham United supporter. Here's Niall John, a little bit of room on the edge of the penalty area. It was a challenge from behind, but it was a fair one.
Yeah, really good tracking there by Archie.
Spurs will keep on coming forward. Craig. Fogan Walcott again. And then a ball in, which is deflected, and behind it goes for a corner to Tottenham.
He's travelled some ground there. 2 really good interceptions and a tackle at the death. Just what you want from your substitute who comes on full of energy.
It's another substitute, Clayton, who delivered that ball into the penalty area just a moment ago. So here comes the Spurs corner, taken by Alonso. Important header away. Ajayi will get there first, he'll hit it on the turn. West Ham United get it clear. Spurs get a throw. West Ham cry for a foul throw. Here's Ajayi. Finds Niall John. As he sends a ball in, it was dangerous. It was an important touch by Liang, but it might not completely clear the danger. Did it come off Casey last there as it was just heading towards the goal? That touch was important, but not decisive. And it was Casey who won the header for West Ham United as Spurs send another ball in. It's headed away once more. Downey tried to get it down, and he'll have his second chance at the shot.
Ooh. Kaelin just done enough. Just took the pace out of the shot. In the end, it was comfortable for Christian.
He got there in the end with the long kick forward. As Earthy looks to play one in behind, and this could be a big chance for West Ham United. It was a big chance for West Ham United, but it was superb defending in there from Malachi Fagan Walcott.
Yeah, it was really, that was terrific defending. Good little combination play. And that's a vital block.
Had to get it right, not only because West Ham United were in behind, but of course he was booked earlier on in the second half. And isn't this just where West Ham United want to be with 1.5 minutes of stoppage time to go?
Yeah, I'll be surprised if it comes out of that corner.
It's Clayton who will take. As you say, I don't think he'll take it very far, as this is Swire. I think the intended outcome was to kick it off with a Spurs player. I don't think it's worked out too well. Spurs have 1 minute to get it forward and try and find an equalising goal. For the time being, West Ham United are ahead of them in the table. We'll just make things look a little bit better going into the break for the World Cup. So at the moment they're doing anything just to get it up the field. Greenidge will help out. Kadoa. And it's a great flick towards Kadoa again. And this could be dangerous for West Ham United again. Kadoa might just get a second chance. I'm sure we'll be pretty happy just to keep the ball for now for West Ham in that corner flag. That's why I tried it again.
But it's up in the it's deep in Tottenham's half, so this is fine.
Looks like Keeley was just caught in 2 minds initially whether to kick it long or not. That's the only option he's got. Ooh, maybe not. There hasn't been too many stoppages within stoppage time, so the whistle should go shortly. And there might just be time for one last Spurs break, but Casey clears away. And a look at the watch. And you can tell by the reaction from West Ham United, the players, the fans behind in the stands, how big a win that is. Not only because it's against their rivals Spurs, but it takes them above them in the table. And just 1 point off safety now. They started the week 7 points off it. And back-to-back wins in the week puts them in a much better position going into the World Cup. As it was a sublime free kick, which is the difference between the two sides. So we'll take a look at it here. Keeley made some great saves for Spurs, but he had absolutely no chance as it sailed into the top corner from Ollie Scarles.
That's a fitting goal to win any game.
And it almost wasn't enough for West Ham United, because in the second half for Spurs, they had a big chance from the penalty spot. This was how they won that penalty. It was poor initially from Forbes, who just tried to make amends, bringing down Mundell inside the penalty area. If we thought the hero was Scarles from the free kick, it turned out to be Hedgie with a save like that from the penalty spot. That was the closest Spurs really came throughout the game.
See Michael, first one to jump on Christian to thank him.
And all the West Ham players will be thanking him inside the dressing room after, as the final scoreline here is West Ham United 1, Spurs 0. Thank you very much, Kenny.
No, thank you. Been a pleasure as always.
And thank you all for watching. I've been your commentator, Tyler Morris, and we hope you've enjoyed.